Hi, welcome to my channel, The Happy Life of Dragon and Rabbit. This is Dragon Girl Yvonne. Today is a really special episode that I have a really special guest who is also a friend of mine, Vivilla, to share about her study abroad experience. So if you are interested, let's keep on watching. So today we're gonna have a special guest in my channel, The Happy Life of Dragon and Rabbit, and her name is Vivilla, and we're gonna share something about her study abroad experience. So hopefully this will shed some light on for you as well if you ever decide to study overseas as well. And I do have a few short questions, and after my question, Vivilla will be very happily to share her answers to all of you. Okay, so Vivilla, when did you start your study abroad journey, and how long have you been living overseas?
Hi everyone. I have been studying abroad. Oh my god, let me see, 7 years since my undergrad, and it has been a really adventure. Like from my undergrad to all the way to grad school, I didn't even realize it has been so many years outside. And what's the other part of your question?
Just, yeah, how did you start your journey? Yeah, so what made you feel like you want to study abroad?
For me, I started to realize that I like the education system back home actually not super working for me, because for me I love extracurriculum activities. I can do the school play, I can organize the whole thing, but if you just put me there and let me do the whole task and memorizing everything, it's not really working for me, and it made me really painful. But if I can get a chance to do something extra for it, I would love to do it. I realized that from my middle school, and then like for my high school I started to study in an international school, so that's like semi-international experience already. Yeah, and definitely like going back to the camp. When I starting to study in the camp and starting to get into those intercultural environment, it just made me feel like, okay, so this is more challenging, but also there are so much more options for me to check it out. And I just trying, and then like here I am after studying abroad for 7 years. Yeah.
Yeah, great. So for those of you, actually, I get to know Avila from the camp that she mentioned, the Joy in the Journey camp back home in China, and it was a great experience. That's how we get to know each other. Second question for you, Avila. So among so many other countries, I know that the most popular ones are probably the North American countries, you know, Canada, America, and I know students are also study in England or Australia. So for you, why would you choose to study in Canada, not other countries?
Okay, so for me, one of the reason is actually the financial reason. Like compared to America, Canada is more financially fit for me, for my family situation. And also like I was studying in international school, and that school has a Canadian curriculum, and most of the teachers are from Canada. So I have been exposure to the Canadian environment more since my high school, and most of people from my high school went to Canada in the end. So I did not think about America that much at that time. So I just ended up coming like Canada. That's the two reasons probably. Yeah.
Interesting. Bonus question for you. I've heard some students that they have also been joining the international schools while they are in their home countries. Do you think it is beneficial if you study in an international school back home for you to apply to universities or post-secondary education overseas? Or do you think if you are back home but participate in a regular Chinese school, will it be harder for you to study overseas, do you think?
Definitely. So for me, like after I chose the international school, I got exposure to the Canadian curriculum, but I still have one block for the public school curriculum, like Mandarin, slash all those like social course. First year I remembered our history, and then we have politics, and then the third year I can't remember exactly honestly. Yeah, but we do have the Chinese curriculum as one part of our school curriculum. But having all those Canadian curriculum get into the in like the complete English environment of studying and finishing homework and writing assignments and starting reading a long paragraph in English, that's definitely a plus. And also we all know that in overseas school, like outside of China, like all those school the high school curriculum, like comparing to the high school curriculum in the public education back in China, like the difficulty is actually super like spare over there. So for me, like having the Canadian high school curriculum for especially like for math and for science, those courses, most of the contents as things I already learned from middle school. That's not a joke. Yeah, but for grade 12, there is also a huge lip like other actual materials if you study science or math or those things. Yeah, but because like I'm more interested in social studies stuff, and especially like I study 7 years of psychology already, and also a childhood and social institution, so it's like super local courses. So not too many like Chinese students would choose those kind of courses over science or math or business. Yeah, be frankly. Yeah, so definitely like getting used to all those workload all in English back in high school, that was a huge plus for me after I get into the university. Uh, yeah, so I don't need to rely on so much like I don't know, like translation all those things, because I was able already to switch my mind when doing my study. I can switch my mind from the Mandarin mode to the English mode, and which helped me a lot to get adapted to the higher education environment in Canada. Especially, I need to read so much textbook, research articles, all those things, and it can be super difficult if you're not used to switch your whole mind from the Mandarin setting to the English thinking setting. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's really helpful. So I know that since you've been studying the Canadian curriculum, maybe when you were actually here the first time, you probably did not come across a lot of cultural shock. But I'm still curious to hear that some of your unique experience when you were here in Canada, that's something that you did not realize back home, that you think, oh, that's unique, or that's very interesting. Any that type of experience that you would like to share with us?
Uh, well, definitely there are gonna be a lot of things that are different and unique. But I would say the most shocking thing and also like the most difficult thing for me is actually like making friends with the Canadians. So when I came in the first year when I came to Canada, like a lot of my friends back in high school or classmates back in high school, they all chose to go to the school with their best friends or with like someone they already know, and trying to grabbing a friend, a Chinese friend who's already like they can build a relationship before they start a journey in university. But when I was in my first year, I was actually trying to, okay, so maybe I'll start fresh. So I did not come to that school with any existing friend together, and I was like open to making friends from like no matter it's like Chinese students or like local students or other international students. I was like actually super excited, and I thought it won't be that hard, especially when I was in the camp and with all the foreigners there. It was not that difficult to make friends in the camp environment. But in the university, it's actually totally different. And I was like it's like because you don't know the norm of all the other local students, so you're literally the weird one over there. So no matter like you, like we all have different kind of like acting mode. We can choose to acting and choose to adapt to certain norm. Like we all have that. But when you don't even know what's gonna be happening, there is no way you can adapt yourself into that mode, switch to that mode instantly and to fit in. So in the beginning, like I was like if I look back to the first day when I started living in the residence, I was probably acting like a super nerdy Chinese girl come from nowhere and want to talk to people about history. It's super awkward and cringe if I look back from now. Yeah, but at that time, I was just like trying, like, I don't, that was not me at that time too. I was like also trying to hide part of myself a little bit. I don't know what I was doing at that time. Yeah, and also like I got a suite mate, so I didn't got a roommate to share the same room, but I do have one person live next door, and both of us gonna share the bathroom together. And this girl came to the dorm a few days later than I did, and I was already like kind of like occupied some space and in some way acting like some way. And so I was like trying to be nice to make friends with her, but it ended up I was acting super awkward and she probably think I'm super weird, I'm quirky, and ended up just like she kind of hate me. And when we were, there was one time when I was taking the shower and the water got all into my ear and I was like literally like jumping in the bathroom and trying to get water out, but I don't know how to get it out. I was like freaking out, but also like you're sharing that shower, like that bathroom with someone else, so you were literally just like I don't know, I don't want to spend so much time inside. I don't know what people gonna think about me, but it just happened. I was just like staying there and ended up like after I finally out of the shower, going back to my room and changing my shirt, and she probably already waiting for a really long time to get into the shower. And when I didn't get the time to even like clean up the room yet, so she rushed into the bathroom and become so freaking mad. Like, what did you do? Like, she was literally, what did you do? How did you make this happen? I was just like so embarrassed and awkward at that moment, and my English was not bad, but it was only limited to academic communication, not to the daily life, like saying like I still remember like I answered her like, oh, I took a bath, but it's not a tab, but I did not know that much. Like I did not even like have the mental selection like I should use like I took a shower. I did not took a bath. So that's how weird my behavior is for her. So anyway, that was a really awkward and really bad experience. Like even like after we have been living for the whole year, and there are times like we just like random met on campus. I tried to say hi, and she just literally ignored me completely. And I still remember like in the orientation day, she was trying to be nice and take me like with her to go to the orientation together. But all the local Canadian students that already like honestly I saw like okay, school orientation, how that can be. Like you just need to be a student. They're gonna be like teacher or whatever. Like you cannot really act in like yourself, like being crazy or like no, that's completely not like that. I did not even wear makeup. but all the other girls that like already like wearing all they cut out t-shirt, like all the resident t-shirt into crop top and wearing heavy makeup, and some people already like pre-drink everything. Like I'm not like the nerdy one who don't drink, who don't party, but I just saw like, okay, this is a school setting. Like I just like need to like pretending to be nerdy. But I did not even expect the whole orientation is actually a whole party. It's literally a rave on campus on the hill. But I was wearing no makeup, a blank t-shirt, and a pair of jeans. It was really embarrassing, honestly, in my first year, without knowing so much norm to step into it. Even I know like I was actually capable to fit into that norm, but I just don't know what to expect. So that was really horrible.
Yeah, so true. Yeah, it's definitely, I think it's true for all the international students who come across a very different cultural background and then trying so hard to fit in to a completely different culture. So that is the first half of our interview. And if you are curious about what the next part would look like, make sure that you stay tuned and subscribe to my channel. This is Dragon Girl Yvonne, and I will see all of you next time. Bye.